All right, take 3 on the intro. We had a comment this week. I wasn't even gonna say this in the intro, but we had a comment this week where someone said this didn't look like a professional TV show. It's because it's not. We don't want to make a TV show. If we wanted to make a TV show, we could do that. It'd be simple. We'd start the camera about the time I set the hook, and that's kind of what it would be. That'd be easy to do. This is supposed to be a little bit more personal, but welcome back to another video. I don't normally like filming on Saturdays, but it is Saturday right now. We're fishing some local water because I wasted a ton of time this week somewhere else to get some app videos. So, we've been sitting in the truck for a couple hours. The skies have cleared. We have blue sky on the horizon. It's been pouring down rain. It's that early summer time frame. We got fish doing all sorts of different stuff, more than likely. A lot of times this is junk fishing season. Fish could be deep, they could be shallow, they could be in weeds, they could be on rocks, they could be eating leeches, crawlers, plastics, crankbaits, skitter scatters, whatchamadoos, search baits, you name it. We got them all in the boat, ready to rock and roll. There's plenty of skitter scatters to catch fish today. But behind the camera is Mitch filming this video. It's a very special day. It's his 53rd birthday. Unbelievable. The guy's been on the earth for 53 years. I did get him a birthday present, if you guys were wondering, so wish him happy birthday in the comments. I got him a roll of Sprees, chili cheese Fritos, and a Diet Dr. Pepper. His 3 favorite things. So he's just happier than a pig in the mud today. So, to make it happen, blast off, junk fishing walleyes, early summer. Boom, baby. We rolling. We rolling. Now, spot number 1 has a bunch of weeds on it. Weeds and rocks, but it's just kind of a classic big long point complexion. It's got a bunch of fish holding structure between 5 feet and 25 feet. Anytime you can put yourself in a spot when fish are moving with different depth holding structures, you're gonna be around them. Was that a good look or no? I saw it move that fast. I was like, oh, there's no way. This is a walleye. It's going to be a good one. Well, as you guys can see, the storms have cleared. It is now flat, calm, and sunny out. There's people partying on the sand, local sandbars. Crazy. It's all of a sudden summer after this morning just being rigged up with all the warm clothes I had.
This is like a really nice fish or what?
We'll never know. I don't know what that was about. What?
I saw it come up close to the surface. It was pretty big.
Was it a walleye?
I couldn't tell. I would have caught it though.
Dang! Back to the grind.
That sucks.
Putting that mist fish in the video?
Yeah.
That was my 3rd one since 20. There we go. Came out of the same school though. Nice walleye right there.
You switch up bait or something?
Yeah, I did. I actually threw the jerkbait in there a couple times. Lost whatever that gigantic thing was on a jerkbait. I mean, it came out of a school of walleye, so I'm sure it probably was a walleye. A lot of times with something like big and gnarly, like a jerkbait or like big aggressive baits, You don't get to like just keep casting at them a million times and have the fish reacting really well. Wow, that thing is never coming off. Holy cow, I need pliers. I need pliers.
What are you even using right now?
Drop shot.
Oh.
And then I threw the old drop shot at him, and he just couldn't say no. And as you guys can see here, I don't know if you guys are listening to me before that, but after our storm has ended, now we just got like the worst looking fishing conditions of all time. Mitchell, we got a walleye loose. Oh, there he is. He's angry.
Big boy.
There we go, there we go. Number one. Hopefully I have a bunch. We'll let that guy go and do it again. Seeing plenty of fish. We gotta work a little bit on making them all bite. There he goes. Dude, this weather makes me want to throw the old trunks on and take a swim, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty nice out.
It's incredibly nice out.
After it was just cold and rainy.
That fish came on the old drop shot and leech, which is probably one of your better presentations when it's like this out. Just tying up a real long lead on it, like a 3-foot lead, down to a real light weight. Keep your weight real light so you don't like go screaming some big lead object by the fish before you're trying to get him to eat this real finessey little presentation. And I like to just thread that leech right on there, baby. This is one of just the early summer into summer standbys right there. Very simple. Hook, weight, piece of meat.
I don't know.
Oh, flying. Got him right there. Well, that one took some playing around with. Mitchell, I don't want for you to hate me, but I did look down in my pocket a second ago and the mic was muted.
Oh, seriously?
Nice walleye here though.
So this might be the first one.
This could be the first one on camera. We don't really know.
It's a nice fish though.
Let the record show though, we have now caught 2 essentially. I'll reach down and scoop up this little guy here. It's actually a pretty nice fish. We'll take him all day like that. There's potential I might lose this fish right here. But nope, he's ours. Look at that, man. These fish, if you get a day like this, they're just so accustomed to eating up in the water column. You can see, I don't know if you guys are watching the live stuff, but there's so much bait that gets high in the water column that these fish just like, they want to go up to eat. A lot of times it might be tough to get them on a jig. Then you throw on something like a jerkbait and all of a sudden they're biting. There we go. Beautiful. Walleye right there, Mitchell. Oh, he got away on me. He got away on me. But it's a fish on a drop shot now and a fish on jerkbait. 2 very different presentations. One question we always get, especially when I'm at seminars, is like, how do you know what to throw? Well, you never really know what to throw, right? If you're gonna start with the skitter scatter, what you would do. But the whole premise is, whether you're using side imaging sonar, forward facing sonar, that the more fish you could put your bait in front of, the faster you can tell what fish want to eat and what fish don't want to eat, or what has a negative reaction. So a lot of times, if when you cast your bait out, you know you're casting that fish, it's going to let you kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together a lot faster as opposed to what they want. Is it going to happen here?
It looks like it might.
They sure are going slow.
Yeah, but they're rising up at it.
Oh. They're all over me.
So close. Is it gonna happen? There he goes, there he goes.
Didn't have it. It's the cat and mouse game.
I thought for sure he grabbed it.
Now, I've been seeing this the whole time so far, but if you get in a situation where it like looks like this, like the fish do like to do a lot of following when you get kind of this conditions that look like this. you kind of come down through here, you'll see stuff that looks like this. This is probably a fish, lone fish up off the bottom right there. Kind of, that's obviously not enough to make us stop, but that is kind of what we're looking for. Real sandy off the right, real weedy off the left currently. So here's a big one outside the edge right here. I like the way that looks a lot. Anytime you see a big mark like that out off the edge, that is probably a bigger walleye for sure, a bigger fish. A lot of times those smaller ones will tuck like almost into the weeds, where your big marks will be up high off the weed edge. So I like that a lot. Now if we see multiple of those, that's kind of really what we're after. Another little smaller one right here. And a lot of times in weeds, you might just not see like 50 of them all together. What I really like seeing is just like kind of a consistency. And then note, like, are those fish way off the weed edge? Are they all snugged in right to it? On a day like this, we got so little wind, it seems like those fish are a little bit more roamy. The other thing to note is, like, kind of once you drive through here, you got it pretty tracked out kind of in your mind how that weed bed lays out. Is the whole edge in 13? Is the whole edge in 5? Is that whole edge real in and out weavy? So that kind of gives you an idea too of like when you start working back into it to kind of give you an idea how to trace that weed edge. Because a lot of times I want to put my boat right on it when I start fishing, and then a lot of times with forward facing, I'll look side to side, kind of out into the abyss where those bigger ones will be hanging out, and then pan up into the weeds to see if I see some of those other small ones. So this is kind of what we do when we get on these weed beds. It's a lot of side imaging first, and then a lot of trying to sharpshoot a lot of these fish. So when you're going down one of these big weed beds, we're gonna keep going down this one, see what potential it has. This is kind of the process we're going through. Flying. Oh, they're going nuts. Yep. Wow. Was that ever an angry school of fish right there? They were so far down. So I'm sitting in 17 feet. Those fish were probably on the bottom in, I don't know, 18 feet of water.
Coming way up too,
and I pulled them way up like that. And that's what I mean by a lot of times you'll see those fish start wanting to come up in the water column. May lose this, Mitchell, but I got to get my net, but I don't want to get out of the frame here.
Here, I'll get it.
All right, guy's going to get it for me. I'll just fight him out. I'll fight him out.
I'll even net it for you. How's that?
Guy's going to net it for me.
Double duty here.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Oh, look at that, dude.
All right, you can take it now.
That's a beautiful day way to spend a Saturday right there. That's a nice big angry one, huh? Look at the fatness on that thing, dude.
It's a beast.
Wow.
Some good fillets on that.
That's a hell of a fillet on there. The old lady would be real happy if I brought that one home.
It was about how 95% of the people would look at it.
No, we're gonna let that one go. Look at that. Beautiful day, man. Catching beautiful walleyes. He's kind of a little banged up on his back little fin there. Look at the weight on that fish though.
Big chunky one.
Yeah, old northern Wisconsin warhorse. Let's let that guy go. About as good as it gets. All right, we're going for maximum cinematography on this release.
Splash the lens.
Oh, look at him just go down.
Beautiful.
That'll be a cool mega live shot. So there was one fish that came up, started getting all froggy, and I think he missed the bait. And then that like spurred another one to start flying up. And they all of a sudden were just like, and we pretty much knew one of those was gonna bite. There we go. 2 on jerk baits, 1 on drop shot. Should we switch it up just for fun, see what they do?
Sure.
We'll see.
Jig and minnow.
I don't even have any minnows with.
Jig and bluegill.
I don't use live bait.
It's illegal.
Wow. Very next cast, put a search bait on. This is feeling so weird, dude. I was kind of turning the boat so I wasn't really even looking. Why is this fish just not fighting at all?
It looks like the right
because
kind.
it's a giant. It's a big stud. Watch how much I gotta get my net.
Yeah, that's exactly why he's acting like that. I'll get the net. I got it. That's a big one.
I love it. I love it. This is the one. This is the one. Jet skis going around. People crushing adult sodas at the sandbar. Look at that walleye. Oh, baby. Search bait season is on, boys.
That's the best time of year.
Search bait season is on. It might be my first walleye on camera on a search bait of the year. And it's top end fish in the lake right here.
It's a beast.
That is what we're after right there. That is what we're after. Well, this pot has some nice fish in it, huh?
That's it.
I would reckon. Get you popped off there, buddy. Oh, look at that one. That is as good as it gets right there. Not crazy long, but you know, fishing up here in a lot of these smaller lakes up here, you're not dealing with 30-inch fish. You know, if you go to the local watering hole and someone's like, yeah, I caught 3 30s today. Lying. But if you're catching like 23 to 27-inch fish, this one's probably 25 and a half, I'd say. I honestly thought he looked a little bit bigger, but big old mouth on him, super dark gold. I want to take him home, but we're not. I absolutely love these northern Wisconsin goldies, dude. Wow. Well, after a little rocky start, we're piecing them together now. That was my first cast on that thing. So if you guys fishing a lot of our search baits, this might be a good thing to note here, but redesigned them this year. So they all come with this, kind of how I used to rig them, with this quick change connect. So you can like swap out hooks however you want. You might think like, wow, that seems like it's just gonna come off when I'm fighting fish. That is not a concern at all. We also got a ton of new colors. Last year they all had like metallic blades on them. Now we have a ton of these like different colored search bait blades on here. So this is the time of year, load up on these things, because they are like, what you guys are looking at right here could potentially consume the next 3 months of fishing. Search baits are just, they're that good of a bait. Throw a crawler on there, throw a leech on there, throw whatever on there, cast it at fish, or troll it, and just, I mean, it's just that good of a bait, honestly. All right, guys, so clearly we got just a disaster going on the front deck right now. Different rods, different tricks for different fish. But want to do kind of a quick run through, because we always get asked on this, what rods, everything like that. So anytime I'm slip bobbering, this is pretty much the rod I use. This is the Precision Shoot 2B rod. Now, the advantage with this rod for slip bobbering is the giant guides it has on here. This is going to let that thing, you know when you cast slip bobber out and it just goes ding, 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 and gets all jammed up? Does not happen with this rod, because it's got these big, this is a specific slip bobber rod. So that's the rod we're using, the 2B Fishing Precision Shooter, 7'5", I believe it is. Jerkbait fishing, that one doesn't matter quite as much. This is a Elliott Identity Series 7-1. It's called a finesse jig. It's just kind of the rod I like doing this with. 10-pound braid, long 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. Now, the rods that actually matter, the one I've been throwing the search bait on, this is kind of my favorite rod for doing this. This is an Elliott Identity Series. This is called the Rig and Jig, I believe. Yep, Rig and Jig. It's a 7.4 medium light fast. Longer rod, lighter tip. One thing I like is that when those fish bite, they're gonna go like that, and then they're gonna slowly load that rod, and that's when I swing into them. So if you're gonna be fishing a search bait, fish a rod like this, Elliott Series Identity Rig and Jig right there. That's the rod that I like doing this with. 10-pound braid, 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. Drop shotting, longer finesse rods, 7 foot to 7'3" medium light. Same thing. You fishing these live bait techniques, I like a soft tip on a rod. That's the same deal. 10-pound braid, very long 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. Pretty simple setup there. Now I do have a few other things tied up here which we did not use today. I have some like reaction bait rods which we just didn't have to get to that today. We're really ripping on stuff that I like something heavier. Elliott, this is my favorite one right here. It's called the Reaction Baits rod. So that's a 7'2", very stiff, very fast rod that lets me work a lot of those bigger baits. So you can kind of see the trend here. A lot of that finesse live bait stuff I like a little bit longer, medium light, a lot of tip load in it to kind of do that finesse type stuff. A little bit more aggressive stuff, I'll go with something a lot faster, a lot more aggressively actioned, something like a search bait, long, soft tip, and then the slip bobber rod's kind of its own specific thing. Very moderate action rod for loading up, loading that rod a lot on these finesse jigs, and that's kind of the key there. So it looks like a complete disaster. It is a complete disaster, but there is some sense to it, I would say. Now watch this. I'll throw this stupid jerkbait out there, you guys. And these fish, which are on the bottom in like 20 feet of water, will come all the way up to it. There my bait is, like 4 feet below the surface of the water. Look at that. That one is literally thinking about coming all the way up. Yep, he's flying. Oh, he kind of bailed though. Oh my goodness. Yep, wow. I mean, how crazy is that? How crazy is that? It's just on the bottom in 19 feet of water, Mitchell. And I just sucked them all the way up to the surface. 2 of them. One missed the bait. One got it. And it's going to be another pretty nice fish. I mean, look at the quality of these things. They're all just angry, early summer walleyes. Always, this is one thing that I've been playing with a lot more this year, is fishing really high in the water column for a lot of these like inactive fish. One thing I always equated, I used to try to do this a lot with slip bobbers too. Like if you're doing a lot of slip bobbering and it's 20 feet deep and the fish are down, 19 feet and you set the bait 18 feet down, a lot of times I see it to be less productive than if you run that slip bobber down like 10 feet or 12 feet. And if you think about how you ice fish for crappies, when you're looking at like a fat school of crappies, do you hold the bait right in the school or do you try to stay like 5-6 feet above and watch them fly up? Fish are a lot of times more, they'll get the predator-prey chase drive going on a lot more the farther you keep that bait away from them and make them engage. Kind of crazy thought, but it definitely 100% works for walleyes. Oh, and one thing that I've never thought about was like trolling. You always think like, especially if you're like running lead core crankbaits or planer boards, like you always want to be like, okay, the fish, we're seeing fish 20 feet down and 30 feet of water. Throwing all our crankbaits 19 feet down. Maybe 10 feet's better sometimes in clear water to make those fish chase up. What do you think about that analysis, Mitchell?
Beautiful.
One thing I love so much about fishing is I always describe it like a puzzle, right? And a lot of times the hardest pieces of the puzzle to put together are like the first couple, right? But once you have the first couple of pieces of the puzzle together, the other pieces begin to become easier to put together. And you're just always learning.
You're talking learning. 1,000-piece puzzle or 100-piece puzzle?
Well, for you, it's more like a 30,000 piece puzzle.
What is it for you?
About 6 pieces. I'm joking. That's my favorite part, though, is honestly just the learning of this. You never really stop. I mean, look at those fish. They're still in the bottom. Should we see if they do it again?
Sure.
So those fish are on the bottom in, I don't know, my graph says 18 feet. Jerkbait, you want to make kind of as far along of a cast as you can. My bait's way up high. We'll get it just like right above them here. So there's my bait, way up high. Now I'm just going to go for the death stall. Now they're not exhibiting the same behavior right now. But it only takes one, it seems like. Once one starts flying up, now I got my bait a lot farther down. We'll see if they still do it. Now, we just blew our whole point we were trying to make, Mitchell.
Dang it. I guess we got a few more pieces of the puzzle then.
And we got a few more pieces to put together here. Yo, are they going to do it? Now I've sunk the jerkbait almost to the fish. And they're exhibiting very negative behavior. That's a no. Time to find a better customer. Just window shopping. Yep, it's going. User error. Cast before though, I had it set way down by the bottom, a little shallower in there, and then I moved it way up high, and that fish shot way up like that.
So what happened?
I missed it, dude.
Is that another piece to the puzzle?
Well, could be.
So now we're at 8 pieces?
8 pieces. 10,000 more to go. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's hotter than heck out here.
Yeah, it is.
We were all suited up for like cold weather, and then the rain stopped, and now it's just hot as can be out. flying up to me, flying up to me. Eat the slip bobber. Oh, yep, he ate it. Oh, is that nice? What are we on here? Technique number, we got jerkbait fish, drop shot fish, slip bobber fish, search bait fish. I mean, that's just running the gauntlet. This is a big fish too.
Is it really?
Yeah. When they load up this precision shooter,
you can see him.
that is what we want right there. Look at that fish, dude.
Really nice fish.
How well does the camera pick that up down there? Pretty good.
So sunny, I can't see.
Oh. They definitely saw that, didn't they? Oh man. Summer's here, baby.
That's the biggest one today.
That is a big fish on the slip bobber. He's not hooked great either.
That's
that
like a
jig looked kind of cockeyed in his mouth.
Easily a 27-inch fish up here, which is
Oh, Mitchell.
as good as it gets.
I'm speechless, man. You get around them, that is a thick one. That is a thick one right there, my friends. That is about as good as it gets. Switched up to the old Kalen slip bobber. The old finesse jig on there, and that is ultimately what holds these big girls on. It's hard to find a good slip bobber that'll hold big fish, or a slip bobber jig that'll hold big fish. And that is kind of the main reason we wanted to make that one. But dude, I mean, that is, look at that. That is a stud for up here. Those are the ones we're after right there. Big walleyes, summertime. Doing the summertime swing with every rod we got in the boat. That thing's a handful, dude. Look at my hand on that fish.
Yeah, it's a big fish.
Give me a good release. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Glass, calm water. Oh, that is fun right there. I mean, we've caught a fish on like literally dang near everything in the boat at this point. It's kind of what we want to do today. Show a little bit about summertime fishing, and kind of the baits we're using, and a lot, you can see, a lot of these schools I've casted multiple things at with, and then it's eventually, there's one thing that they end up biting, you know? So it's kind of interesting to note that. But another thing, like we were kind of talking about, the graph says 16 feet right now. My slip bobber is down 7.5 feet. And you can see how far those fish shoot up like that. A lot of times keep that thing farther above them and your odds go up. I'm satisfied with that. That was what I would consider a good time. All right, guys, well, real quick little weekend outing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it. We wanted to kind of come out today and film something kind of early summer. Obviously, we just kind of ran through a million different techniques, got on some decent pods of fish, found a bunch of fish relating to weed edges, and that was the kind of deal. So it was, I would say, successful. Would you say, Mitchell?
Absolutely.
And there's nothing, Mitch for his birthday, I was like, Mitch, what do you want to do on your birthday? And he said, I would love nothing more to do on my birthday than to come out and film you fishing. And I said, wow, what a guy. That is incredible. So hopefully you guys can all find yourself a Mitchell out there. But I enjoyed making this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more live streams. We appreciate you guys making our job possible. We'll see you guys in the next one. Boom.